Against the backdrop of the Affordable Care Act uncertainty, Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Mexico announced this week it is buying the Loveless Health Plan. The CEO of Loveless, Ron Stern, said his plan had become too small to survive after it lost a bid earlier this year to provide Medicaid to recipients under the state's new Centennial Care Program. Now, about 300 people work for the Loveless Health Plan, and the company said it will try to place those people in jobs at Blue Cross or in the Loveless Health System. Let's see how that goes. The deal means now that two companies, Blue Cross and Presbyterian, will control most of the market in New Mexico. And Steve, some fear this means heading for a monopoly, certainly, and that could bring higher costs for consumers, all the things that happens with monopolies. However, is it a little early to make calls that way? Does the marketplace have to shake out here a little bit?
Well, Dan knows more about the insurance business than I do, but this personally affects me because my company is on the Loveless plan. And personally, I liked it a lot better than Blue Cross, which we used to be on. Now we're going back. It's like I had an insurance plan I wanted, and now I can't have it anymore.
Sure. Yeah. What's been the tone and tenor of the shop? I'm curious now that you mentioned that. Or is it unanimous that folks are unhappy, or is it just?
The ones I've talked to are kind of grumbling, but yeah, I'm kind of isolated because I'm in the State Capitol Bureau, so I don't see everybody all the time.
I hear you.
Is that by design, Steve?
That's right. But Lonnie, you know, personal stuff, insurance falls under that. It's a very tricky thing. Folks don't like to have their insurance messed with. On the way in on Thursday here, I heard the president's news conference, the news presser. He was talking about this, and they're honoring, you know, insurance for folks. That's the big national dialogue. But for locally here, does this fundamentally mean what for Loveless people? Should there be fear? Should there be no fear at all? What's the sense of it?
Well, it seems like there should be some concern in the sense that it's riding on top of the Affordable Care Act, and so there are all kinds of other changes, and here you can't keep your insurance, and actually my insurance company is going under because of perhaps some of this process, and so how do these things fold into each other? And yeah, I think that's a concern. I think it's a concern that we're only limited to two main companies too. I think that's
what do you make sense of? What do you make of the idea that some folks feel the insurance companies are actually playing games with this? You know, they send out the letters telling you your insurance has been canceled, but lo and behold, you end up signing up for something a little more expensive or not quite as good, and you've got this tension point. Are the insurance companies culpable here in some capacity, in your view, as you read it?
In relation to the Affordable Care Act? You know, it doesn't seem like it to me. I mean, those numbers I looked at, Loveless was like 3/4, there was an article in the New Mexican, 3/4 of the individuals were getting kicked off. I know people who are getting kicked off in their roles, they're having to pay 3 times as much for less insurance. I mean, it's not quite what they were sold.
Right. Jerry, this comes under the idea of that, we hear this all the time in business, that you need scale. Got to have scale to bring prices down, which means you have to have a lot of people, and it never quite works out that way, but this is what they say.
Well,
but again, please.
I'm not affected by it at all, and I understand Steve's concerns, but by the same token, a lot of Loveless members lost their, when they lost ABQ Health Partners. So for them, I would think that this now gives them a broader network of services and doctors. So again, I'm not expert.
Does this fall into choice, though, in your view? I mean, for a lot, you look around the country, a lot of states, they have choice. You know what I mean? There's a lot more choices. That makes a difference for consumers. Do we have enough choices in New Mexico now?
Probably not, but Loveless was getting so small, I'm not sure that it offered much choice to its members after a certain point. So.
That's a good point. On that choice thing, what do you think? Do we have enough choice?
We really only had 4 providers before. Now we got 3.
Right.
So, you guys are forgetting United Healthcare. You got United Healthcare, Blue Cross, Presbyterian, and then statewide you really only got 2. I mean, Presbyterian's really a great, they have stuff statewide. I don't want Jim Hinton coming in here and saying that I did, but I mean, they're really an Albuquerque focused. Their hospitals are here, that's the stuff. So we've gone from 4 to 3. We've had 4 for 100 years here. So we haven't really had all this great choice that you hear about. I don't think the insurance companies are doing a bait and switch, Gene. I think what you're seeing, in my opinion, is you're seeing what happens when the government comes in and totally regulates everything in a bad way. The Affordable Care Act said, we're going to tell you what the minimum level policy is you can have. The market dictated those policies in the past. So now a whole level of policies have gone away that people said, this is the level of coverage I wanted. Now you can't get that anymore. You got to pay for the higher stuff. So I think that it's interesting. And people got to remember that a lot of these folks got into the plan design back in the HMO days because your plan could drive your people to your hospital. And now, that model is gone. It's been gone for a while. And, here in Albuquerque, losing ABQ Health Partners, having doctors that can only go into one hospital versus another hospital, they're not getting accredited in both places, has really risen to a level of consternation. And I think what's a bigger question for New Mexico, Gene, and for people at this table, is the fact that Loveless loses the Medicaid contract forces them to close their health plan, that there's not enough opportunity in the private sector. That's what people in New Mexico should be scared about.
It's an interesting point right there. And Steve, again, coming back to you on this idea of choice and the idea of where New Mexicans now stand. How should we be internalizing this? This is the fundamental question. You know, it's such a mystery for people, and you can't blame anybody for feeling very unsure right now. So, again, is it just time? We need time here. What's the answer for folks?
Well, yeah, apparently we do need time, but yeah, there is reason for concern.
Yeah. If you had a perfect world scenario of thinking about yourself, your shop, everything else, what would be the better setup for you personally? What would be the better way to go here? I'm just curious.
Well, like I say, I was satisfied with the Loveless plan I had. They did right by me the short year and a half we've had them. That was pretty much ideal. I mean, in an ideal world, I like to pay less. And
Are there political upshots to this in the legislature? In your view, there's been folks who are talking about health issues up there all the time, certainly. But does this change the conversation in any appreciable way in your view?
I can't see anything really coming. Maybe some talk and
the bigger
speeches in the Senate.
The bigger deal, Gene. The bigger, like there's any reason for need for speeches, right? The bigger question, though, that is you have to remember United Healthcare is a national health plan. Blue Cross Blue Shield is owned by the folks out of Illinois.
Right.
Loveless and Presbyterian were really New Mexico plans run by New Mexicans. So the question is, are we going to lose that individuality of people understanding what it takes to provide rural medicine in New Mexico, which I assure you is nothing like providing medicine in Illinois or even Texas. And now you're looking at all of these economies of scale that they're moving the underwriting out of state. Are they truly going to understand, the fact that we got certain portions of New Mexico, segments of New Mexico that have very high diabetes problems, other parts that have very high cholesterol problems. What is a wellness plan? The wellness plan that works in Chicago probably isn't going to work up in Gallup. And so, what I'm more concerned about in general is we're losing that locally driven wellness decisions, locally driven pricing by folks that you get to look at every day. You can say what you want about Presbyterian and Loveless and plans like that, but you bump in the Jim Hinton at a Lobo football game. If you don't like something that's going on, you see him. You ain't going to bump into the guy from Blue Cross Blue Shield. He ain't coming out from Chicago, and the guy from United Healthcare ain't flying out from corporate headquarters.
Fair point right there. Just ahead, two experts on death and loss talk about how social media has shifted the way we talk about these issues.